Story number 2. Civilians and war. Who is protected? This is a story that's crept in, and it's a very important story because of the when you look at stories like this, you have to find out what people are doing, how the government is interacting with officials when there's an enemy on the loose, when the government is sending out the order to have this enemy killed, how many civilians are being killed. You look at countries like North Korea, the fact that they've conducted their third missile test since I think it's been in a week, and this is stalled talks with the United States. This is an important story because we have to ask ourselves, what happens if North Korea is all of a sudden successful at hitting a target? How many people will die? The fact that this is a dictator, the citizens in his country are probably suffering. They're probably being sanctioned. They don't have a lot of them probably don't have a lot of food. So when you look at this story, civilians, war, and who is protected, you have to home in on the reality of the situation. North Korea says it tested a new rocket system that they want to use against ground troops. So if this country doesn't have enough money to feed its citizens, why are they building rockets? These are questions. That's one thing you'll learn in the Mediator. There'll be questions, there'll be concerns, and there'll be some solutions, and you may find some answers on your daily walk. But this story is gaining some steam because of the fact that this dictator is constantly staying in the news because of the fact that he's got citizens who need aid. You're launching missiles into the ocean. You're just popping off missiles, and the fact that you're on the global stage. You've been introduced to the game by buddying up with the President of the United States. So now this country is on the radar. When you look at North Korea, then you look at the fact that this country is becoming a nuisance to the United States. So how long will this last? And that one question lingers is, what happens if North Korea successfully hits a target? That's the question. 2 U.S. troops killed in Afghanistan in an apparent insider attack. This story, when you talk about civilians, war, and who is protected, I guarantee you, I can guarantee it that this story will stay alive. This story has got substance because people are being killed every day because of negligence, acts of war. Countries are going after criminals. Their innocent civilians are being caught in the crosshairs. There was a story that surfaced last week about Syria. There was a woman. She's been concerned about the civilians, and she's basically shooting off her mouth to the Trump administration, saying we have to do something about all these civilian deaths. So story number 2 has some substance. It's going to stay alive. If it doesn't stay alive, there'll probably be something that's connected to a story like this that will stay alive. But when you've got countries like North Korea, Russia, China, all these big dictator communist countries are trying to that are against a representative democracy or against the system that the United States stands for, you can guarantee a story like this is going to stay alive because all of these countries are looking for resources. They're being sanctioned. They're being investigated. Some of them have death on their hands. Some of them have citizens who are journalists who have been killed. So this is a long track record. There was even protests in Russia. I'm sure you've probably seen that story. Some people are against Putin. So some Russians are rebelling. Even in China, in Hong Kong, you see the protests. Stories like this will stay alive because when governments are not pulling their weight, or when you even see it in Puerto Rico, when they're out, whenever the protests against ousting their the guy in charge in San Juan. But you have to ask yourself: is there enough qualified people to replace these people? Or if you get somebody in there, do they have the same track record as the past administration? Do we blame this in the battle of Democrats and Republicans? Or is it just the fact that some people are just not qualified for the job? They just don't want to admit it. These are questions you have to ask yourselves when you're dealing with stories like this. What puts these people in charge? You go back to Iraq. You look at Saddam Hussein. The fact that when you look at his track record, how do these people rise to power? How do they get in the position they're in? And when they get in conflicts in war, is it better to oust them, to get them out of power, and to turn the reins over to somebody else? And how does this affect their civilians? You look at Syria, you look at Assad. These stories will stay alive, and that's why story number 2 has crept its way into the top 8. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West, where it's my supreme duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines developing news stories. If you yourself want to be a contributor, help out in any way, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts. I'm in here, I'm homing through over 250 stories every week, so if you want to help out, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or you can just sponsor a program. And I try to tell you every week that every journalist, I thank the journalists, they deserve all the credit. I just stand in the middle. I'm just the mediator. I have to go through 250 stories, probably over that, every week for you. So if you want to help out my cause, we do films here, we do all types of stuff. All you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something. I was born to mediate. I was raised up by the prophets. The heavens opened up, the sun came out, and they told me, and through all the glory, that I would be something someday. I would be a mediator for all of mankind. So if you want to help me out, show me some love. All you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. Mediation is tough, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.